So this news broke last night, and I must admit, it took me by surprise, just like it took the rest of the internet by surprise. But apparently, and it's not 100% confirmed yet, but if reports are true, then Sam Raimi is in talks to direct the second Doctor Strange film. And I'll be honest, when I saw this last night, I was completely shocked. Like I was just about to go to bed. I was tired. I was on my phone. I saw it, and I was like, "What? Like, seriously?" The man himself, Sam Raimi, the man who's basically responsible for the MCU as it is now, he is possibly going to direct an MCU film. Doctor Strange is specifically. It was, yeah, I couldn't believe it, and I still can't believe it. I'm going to be honest. Like, I had joked a few weeks ago actually when Scott Derrickson, the previous director, the guy that directed the first film, which I'm not even. Here's the thing, I'm not the biggest fan of the first Doctor Strange film. I enjoy it enough. I think it's decent. I think it's an average middle of the road Marvel film. Enjoyable enough. It has some great fucking moments in it though. The fight scenes and the CGI and stuff is excellent. It really is, and I do really like Benedict Cumberbatch in the role. More so how he was depicted in Infinity War though, but I still enjoy him, and I would really be up for seeing another film with him playing Doctor Strange. But Scott Derrickson, who did the first film, was originally going to do the second film. He was going to come back and do the Multiverse of Madness, as it's known as. And I was actually somewhat interested in seeing this. Like I think I mentioned before that out of all the MCU Phase 4 movies, that was the one that sort of piqued my interest the most. You know, it really sounded interesting, and I wanted to see what they were going to do with it, especially when I heard rumours that they were going to make it more of a gothic horror type film, rather than just the more generic type MCU movies that we've been getting before. So I was quite interested in seeing this. I wasn't excited, but I was interested. But then a few weeks ago, Scott Derrickson left, and I just completely lost all interest going forward. Sorry, but I don't have any real respect for the Marvel formula of bringing in a director and only letting them make a movie if Kevin Feige is okay with them doing what they're doing. Like, basically they're held accountable by him, which is okay to a degree, but I don't want him running every single film because he's a producer. And yes, he has done excellent things in the past, but I don't think he should be micromanaging everything. Or I don't think Disney should be micromanaging either. Because let's be fair here, it's not just Feige. It's Feige, it's Alan Horn, it's Bob Iger, it's multiple different people. But still, at the end of the day, it's not the directors that are getting free rein to make their movies anymore. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure if this will happen or not. But if it does, I'll have to give, Kevin Feige a lot of credit for managing to pull this off. If he does, because like I've said before, Sam Raimi is an excellent director. He was very passionate about SpiderMan, so he was. And he went and made those 3 films. And the third one in particular, he didn't really have full reign with. He pretty much was allowed to do what he wanted with the first 2 films. And the first 2 films are the great ones, the ones that everyone loves. And then we get to Spider-Man 3. Yeah, the bastard child of the family, the unloved one that I've got a bit of an appreciation for, I'm not saying it's a bit of a guilty pleasure, but I still love it. I'm a bit of an apologist for that film. I'm not gonna lie. It is flawed, but it's definitely nowhere near as bad as some people make it out to be. And you can definitely still see a lot of the excellence that Sam Raimi put into those movies in that third film. But the biggest problem with that third film, and everyone can acknowledge this, was the forced, unnecessarily addition of Venom into the movie, and the entire symbiote storyline that just did not fit. And that wasn't because of Sam Raimi, that was because of a man called Avi Arad. If anyone doesn't know who Avi Arad is, he's this guy who producer on the Spider-Man films. Basically, he wasn't a creative mind, he wasn't a filmmaker or a storyteller or a comic writer or whatever. He was a businessman. He owned a toy company, Toy Biz, which ended up buying Marvel in the 90s. That's why he got involved in producing those movies, and he even produced some of the other films as well. It wasn't just Spider-Man, he produced the first Iron Man film, sure. But yeah, he was there, and he was the one that really, really wanted Venom in the third film. I wonder why, but we all know that Avi Arad forcing Sam Raimi to put in the whole symbiote stuff and Venom into the film. Pretty much derailed the movie, and Sam Raimi has really, he's had to live with that for 13 years now, you know, and he that really hurt him personally. And if you've ever watched interviews and stuff, he feels guilty for how the third film turned out. Like, he really feels bad about it, and you know, he's constantly apologising for it, even though it wasn't his fault. It really wasn't. Yet he still feels bad for what happened, and he still feels the pain of that movie all these years later. So if he was to do this film, if he was actually to come on board and direct this Doctor Strange sequel, I have no doubts about it that he would demand full creative control, and I don't know if that's something that Kevin Feige or Disney would be prepared to give him. And that's a big reason why I genuinely don't, even though I want this to happen, I genuinely don't think it will happen. But I would love to be proven wrong. So yeah, Kevin Feige, please, for this one time, go out and prove me wrong, bring him in, give us a good movie, and I'll be singing your praises once again. You know, because I don't want to bitch about Marvel. I feel like I've been bitching about Marvel a lot recently, and it's not because I hate Marvel, or I'm a DC fanboy or whatever. You know, I love Marvel and DC. I love comic books in general and comic book movies, and I love films in general. You know, I'm a big film guy. I just love good movies. It's as simple as that. I stan good movies. I hate that phrase, standing, but you know, that's what the thing is. I'm a fanboy of good movies, and I just don't like bad movies. Basically, at the end of the day, if he does come on to direct this film, I mean, I'll definitely give it a chance, and I'll hopefully be there on opening night, front row seats, watching the film and hopefully enjoying it. But we'll see what happens. But like I said, I don't think he will be brought on to direct, because I just don't think Disney or Kevin Feige are willing to give him the reins that he'll need to make a good movie. Because the Marvel Studios in this day and age is not about giving directors, you know, full creative control to go out and make great movies. It really isn't. The only time that's really happened post Phase 1 was with James Gunn. And here's a fun story about what happened with Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy film, with James Gunn directing. Marvel Studios at that time had zero faith in Guardians of the Galaxy being a success. Kevin Feige didn't care about it. They only really did that film to sort of expand upon the cosmic side and explain the power gem and stuff, and have Thanos be brought in and teased for a future film. They didn't really think it was going to be a big hit. And then it came out, and it ended up becoming the best Marvel Studios film ever made. And I stand by that. So, yeah. The moral of the story is, give the director freedom to do what they want to do. And yes, it doesn't always result in a Guardians of the Galaxy or a Spider-Man 2. Sometimes it results in some pretty crap films, if I'm being honest. But at the very least, let's experiment. Let's try it, you know, especially with someone like Sam Raimi, who is passionate and dedicated. And by the way, is also a bit of a Doctor Strange fan as well, from what I know, because he was the only Marvel character to ever get name dropped or referenced in the Spider-Man movies. The Sam Raimi ones anyway. That's right. In Spider-Man 2, we have this famous scene here, where Jameson says,
Doctor Strange.
That's pretty good. But it's taken.
Exactly. And if Sam Raimi was to come in and direct this Doctor Strange film, I think it would be fucking poetic. So it would. And yes, I hope it happens. But we'll see. Until then though, I might make a follow-up video on this depending on what happens. But until then, see you guys later.